Shalom Israel. We are the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West, 125th Street, New York. Under command of GEN.YAHANNA. I'm Priest Officer I.S.U.P.K, Priest Officer SHALAM. Today we are about to conduct today's Sabbath service as is done in the book of Exodus chapter 20 and verse 8. We are now going to begin the Sabbath service. So,
Shalom to Israel.
Jump up on the upper dome. Put your eyes and face the east. We'll say the Lord's Prayer.
Abanawa, Shabbat Shemaya,
Kodash,
I.S.U.P.K, Shamka, Yahweh, Lakwaka, Raba'a, Adazaka, I.S.U.P.K, Baratazak, Sawa, I.S.U.P.K, Shemaya, Yatan, Ladawa, Lakam, Kal, Yawam, Wasalakno, Wakino, Wasalakno, Wakino, Wala'a, Tabiano, Vasawan, Bal, Oshaino, Mayan, Rai, Hayat, Aka, Malakwa, Wa'ala, Taparat, Elomia, Ahmad.
Just in English, our Father, heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, the kingdom come, thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day, daily bread, forgive us, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive, our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it.
You want to see the Hakka, Yahweh, Hashem, Oshai, Abukasha, Latan and the War, Hakka, Apa, Tamakala, Wakam and the One, Hakka, Lata, Atimazarium, Hakka, Lakoyam, Amatayam, Hakka, Ayakawat, Atamala, Lagarishin, Basham, Oshai, the Wadaman.
When you say in the English now, it's Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh, please give us the power, to heal, one man of sickness, one man of disease, power to cleanse the leper, power to raise the dead, power against unclean spirits, to cast them out, in the name of Yahweh. Thank you. So be it.
You want to see the blessed Israel, Yahweh, Hashem, Oshai, Rakmanawa, Rasharala, Habayat, Saparim, Barak, Rapa, Magun, Hashem, Oshai, the Wadaman.
We now say in English is Lord, in the name of Yahweh, bless us, and Israel, and the school, bless, heal, shield, protect, loved one, in the name of Yahweh. Thank you.
So be it. We're going to say Psalms 121. Ashaya, Ayanya, Al-Hayayam, Mayan, Yaba'a, Isaiah, Azaria, Arim, Yahweh, Ashaya, Aisha, Shamayam, Warataza, Ayatan, Lamawat, Ragalka, Alianawam, Samalka, La'a, Yanawam, Wala'a, Yasan, Samawa, Yashala, Yahawa, Samarka, Yahawa, Tazalka, Adiyan, Samayanka, Yamyamka, Yawam, Hashamash, La'a, Kayaha, Yakalka, Wayarat, Balala, Bayala, Yahawa, Yasamalka, Makairai, Yasama, Adnasapanka, Napaska, Yahawa, Yasama, Tazalka, Wabaka, Maita, Wailam.
We say here now in the English, Psalm 121. I will lift up my eyes unto the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from the Lord. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore.
We say Psalm 33. Alahayam, Adamayalaka, Aitashakwat, Al Tashakwat, Al Kaya, Ana, Awa Yabaka, Yahamama, Yawan, Ra'ash, Aimaka, Ra'aira, Yamawa, Sawada, Wayata, Ra'aitazawa, Aitazapanwanaka, Amawa, Lakawa, Wanaka, Yadam, Mawaba, Wala'a, Yazaka, Sham Yashala, Aiwada, Aya, Nawa Aitazawa, Laba, Yakawada, Yakadwa, Ayaka, Bariyat, Yakara, Tawa, Yakaratwa, Alahaya, Aidawam, Yasamai, Alahayam, Mawaba, Agarium, Kabal, Aimawan, Aimalak, Pasalat, Palashat, Ayasabia, Tazawa, Gam Lanawa, Ayam, Hayawa, Rawawai, Laban Lawat, Salah, Aiha Laham, Kamadian, Pasaya, Sarah, Kayabian, Manakal, Kayashwan, Nasa, Mabwa, Masharatwa, Bayayan Daira, Hayawa, Daman, La'a Damwa, Shaya Tamwa, Nada Yaba'a, Kairab, Wakal Zabak, Wakal Tazal, Manai, Kal Nasa Ya Kamwa, Ashab, Amabwa, Naya Rasha, Lanawa, At, Nawat, Alahayam, Ya, Tawa, Tamwa, Gangala, Kakwash, Lapan Ya Rawaka, Kaish, Taba Ira, Wakala Taba, Talahat, Harayam, Kantaradama, Basaraika, Wabasa, Wapatka, Taba'a Halam, Mala'a, Panyaham, Palawan, Wayabaswa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabaswa, Waya Bahalwa, Idai, Waya Kaparwa, Waya Dabwa, Waya Babwa, Waya Daiwa, Kayata, Shamka, Yahawa, Abadka, Aiwan, Aika, Aratiza.
Psalm 3 in Hebrew. Keep not thy silent, O God.
Keep not thy silent,
And hold not thy peace. And be not still, O God. For lo, that enemies make it to mock. And they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. And consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off. Being a nation. The name of Israel. And no more remember. For they have consulted together. With one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom. And the Ishmaelites. Of Moab. And Hagarim. The Baal. Ammon. Amalek. And the Philistines. The inhabitants of Tyre. Assur has also joined with them. They are 4 points. The children of Lot. Salah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, and the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like a red, and like Z, yea, all their princes, as the Bar, and as Zaluna, who said, let us take to ourselves houses of God and possession. Oh my God, make them like a wheel, as a stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, as the flames set the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Lord, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame, perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High over all evil. So, Shabia, which means to be seated. As we continue reading in the book of Exodus chapter 31, from verse 17. The book of Exodus, chapter 31, and verse 17 in the Hebrew. Banya, Bayaniya, Mabayan, Banya, Yeshu'ala, Awa, Hawa'a, La'ila, Kaya, Shashaf, Yamyam, Aisha, Yahawa, Ata, Hashamyam, Wa'ata, Ha'arat, Ha'arataza, Mabaya Wam, Hashabaya Aya, Shabbat, Wayanayash. Verse 18. Wayatan, Allah, Masha, Kakalafyawa, Ladaba, Atawa, Baha, Sanaya, Shaniya, Lakat, Lakata, Ha'aida, Lakata, Aban, Kata Bayam, Ba'arat Zaba'ai, Alahayim. The book of Exodus, chapter 32 and verse 1. Wayara, Ka'aima, Kaya, Bashasha, Masha, Larada, Man, Hahara, Wayakwa, Hal, Ka'aima, Aharon, Waya Amarwa, Alayawa, Kwawam, Aisha, Lanawa, Alahayam, Ashar, Yalakawa, Lapanya, Nawa, Kaya, Zaha, Basha, Ha'awash, Hasha, Ha'ashar, Ha'ayat, Ashar, Ha'al, Lanawa, Ma'aratazah, Matazariah, La'a, Yada'ainawa, Maha, Haya'a, Lawa, Waya'ama, Salakia Christu, Waya'ama, Alahayam, Aharan, Horakwa, Hoa, Nazamaya, Hazahad, Ashar, Ba'azanaya, Nashayakam, Baniyakam, Wabanath Yakam, Wahaba Ya'wa, La'aya, verse 3, Wayata,
Barakwa, Kowa, Kal, Ka'aim, Ka'ima, Ata, Nazamayam, Azahab, Ashar, Ba'azah, Neyaham, Wayaba'a, Awa, Allah, Aharan. Verse 4, Wayapak. Wa'atawa, Bakarata, Waya Aishahwa, Lagal, Masaka, Waya Amarwa, Alaha, Alahaya, Salaki Alahaya Ka, Yasha'ala, Asher, Ha'ail, Lawaka, Ma'arataza, Matazarayim. Verse 5, Wayara'a, Aharan, Wayaban, Mazabak, Lapanyawa, Wayakwa Ra'a, Aharan, Wayama, Kaga, Layahawa, Makara. Right? This way.
Exodus chapter 51 and verse 17. It is a sign between me and the children of Israel forever. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, and on the 7th day he rested and was refreshed. Verse 18, and he gave unto Moses, when he had made an end of the communion with him upon Mount Sinai, 2 tables of testimony, tablets of stone, written with the finger of the Most High. Exodus chapter 32 and verse 1. And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron, and said unto him, Upmake us gods, which shall go before us. For as this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we wot not what is become of him. Verse 2. And Aaron said unto him, Break off the golden earrings which are in the ears of your wives, of your sons, and of your daughters, and bring them unto me. Verse 3. And all the people break off the golden earrings which were in their ears, and brought them unto Aaron. Verse 4. And he received them at their hands, and fashioned it with a carven tool, after he had made it a molten calf. And they said, These be thy gods of, O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. Verse 5, and when Aaron saw it, he built an altar before it, and Aaron made a proclamation and said, Tomorrow is a feast to the Lord.
So Most High Christ. So right now we see in here where the nation of Israel, just got the instructions here from the Most High through Moses, and in relation to how the priesthood should be, how the sacrifices should be, and also the Sabbath service. And then right after that, when the children of Israel more or less kind of settled down, and Moses gone before the Most High to receive more instruction, right? Verse 32 on one side. And when the people saw Moses delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron, and said unto him, Up, make us gods. So we see here where once more the children of Israel we are a stiff-necked people, and we easily drawn away from every little wind of doctrine that wanna come. You understand? Something nice, something good, they go on with that. You start to see pressure, all of a sudden you forget the Most High who just brought you out of Egypt, just carried you across the Red Sea, just killed the Egyptians. But now you want to go back to worship the gods of the Egyptians. You want to go back to the white man philosophy. You want to go back to Christianity. You understand? You're quick and easy to go back into those things. I don't know if you add anything.
Yeah, and that's how we say they're showing how disrespectful the nation of Israel is, because they know say the Most High just now destroy all the firstborn of the Egyptians, and them, so them seeing way boy all these people that's there but interfering with him, and now the Most High give you order, and they go and say they're like they're naturally don't care about the Most High, and this man is the most almighty man on the face of the earth, and they're in business.
That's right. And the thing is, as soon as a little while pass, a couple of weeks, Moses is there receiving the instructions from the Most High. And as soon as a few days pass, they realize they didn't see this man dead in the mountain mud. So they're going back to what? They go back to worshiping these false idols, right? That the Most High just destroyed in the nation of Egypt. Alright, so we continue the reading. Book of Exodus, chapter 32 and verse 6. ويشاء كياموا ومقرات ويا اليوا ايلتا ويغشوا شلميم ويشاب أيما لأكاب وشطاوة وياقوا بوا لتزاقوا. Verse 7. ويدبا يهوى الله مشا لكا ودا كيا شكتا أيمكا أشر أيلا Maharataza, Matazarayim. Verse 8. Sarah, Mahara, Man, Hadarak, Ashar, Tazawayatham, Aishawa, Laham, Algal, Masaka, Wayasha Taka wa Kawawa, Lawa, Wayazabakawa, Lawa, Waya Amarwa, Laham, Alayaka, Yasha'ala, Asher, Ta'ai Lakawa, Ma'arataza, Matazaraya. Verse 10. Selaka, verse 9. Waya Amar, Yahweh, Allah, Masha, Ra'ayaf, Taya, Ata, Aima, Kazaha, Wana, Aima, Kwasha, Iraq, Awa'a, verse 10. Wa'aita, Hanayakata, Laya, Wayakara, Apaya, Abam, Baham, Wa'akalam, Wa'aisha, Awataka, Selaki Awataka, Gagawaya, Gadawa, verse 11. Wayaka, Masha, Ata, Panya, Yahawa, Alahayaka, Waya Ama, Laham, Selaki Lama, Yahawa, Yakara, Apaka, Ba'aimaka, Ashar, Awataza Ata, Ma'arataza, Matazariah, Waka, Gadawal, Wabayad, Kazafa, verse 12, Lama, Ya'amarwa, Matazariah, La'ama, Baraiah, Wahataza, Ayah, Amma, Laharan, Atam, Baharayam, Walakalatam, Ma'al, Panya, Adama, Shawab, Maka Rawan, Apaka, Wahanakam, Al, Harai, La'ai Maka.
Exodus chapter 32 and verse 6. And they rose up early on the morrow and offered a burnt offering and brought peace offerings. And the people sat down to eat and to drink and rose up to play. Verse 7. And the Lord said unto Moses, Go and get thee down, for thy people which thou broughtest out of the land of Egypt have corrupted themselves. Verse 8. They have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them. They have made themselves a molten calf, and have worshipped it, and have sacrificed unto, and said, These be thy gods, O Israel, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt. Verse 9. And the Lord said unto Moses, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people. Verse 10. Now therefore let me alone, that my wrath may wax hot against them, and that I may consume them, and I will make of thee a great nation. Verse 11. And Moses besought the Lord his power, and said, Lord, why doth thy wrath wax hot against thy people, which hast thou brought forth out of the land of Egypt, with great power, and with a great mighty hand? Verse 12. Wherefore should the Egyptians speak and say, For mischief did he bring them out to slay them in the mountains, and to consume them from the face of the earth? Turn from thy fierce wrath, and repent of this evil against thy people.
Who's in Christ? Yeah,
Right. Thank God.
I mean, once again, we're seeing how real the Most High is, and we just say, but a lot of people doesn't understand when we say the Most High is a living power. You understand? We have those emotions and those feelings that we have. You understand? He understands. You understand? The frustration of having some stubborn children. Just as any parent. You have a son, you're talking to him right through. A daughter, you're talking to him right through. As soon as you tell your back, they're going back in the dirty ways. You understand? So this is where, we see when the Most High, really trying to forbear with the children of Israel. They're realizing, boy, these people, they ain't easy. As verse 6 says, and they rose up early on the morrow, after them in the golden calf, and offered burnt offerings and peace offerings. And the people sat down to eat and to drink and to rose up to play. So when you're eating and you're drinking and you rise up to play, that is carnival. You understand? That is what's going on. They have a big carnival fest. You understand? After the Most High just bring them out of Egypt, they make all these gods and say, yo, these are the gods, and bring them out of Egypt, and they keep a carnival fest, as we would say. You understand? And the Most High was most displeased, so much so that he say, yo, I don't know this thing. Verse 7 says, and the Lord said unto Moses, Go get thee down, for thy people which thou broughtest out of the land of Egypt have corrupted themselves. They have turned aside quickly out of the way which I command them. They have made sacrifice thereunto. You understand? And he said, these are the gods. So they throw away the Most High quick, and they make golden calves. That is nothing to worship at instead of the Most High. So I think you're hating.
Yeah, and it's nothing new, and it's nothing new we see in today when the brothers them gone and they do crime, and then after now some of them so lucky that the parents and them take whatever little money they have, and you know they take them out and they bail them out and all kind of thing. And after that, no, because no penalty income, no penalty income to them, they go back and they do the same thing again now. And then after now, as you know, now we have brothers and them now come and say, tell their mother and like that's like the most. Hey, leave you inside it because you don't want to hear. Take the rot inside it. Don't listen to the cries and them, you know, but they spend that time in that jail and thing. And that's what happening, you know. So some of them brothers them the see the road there where parents are going to pay, and you know what? You still going back and do that shop, and so you spend time in there and so that's like what the Mosai wrote. The Mosai said, boy, see me, I mean why them up, can I put up and thing, eh?
Mosai in Christ, man. And just want to add something, even when you go a little lower down, you see the real epitome of, you know, brotherhood, where the Mosai tell Moses, leave them alone. You understand? Don't beg for them, let me wipe them out. You understand? And this is how dreaded was. So we could have had the 12 tribes of Moses.
Yeah.
You understand? That could have happened. But Moses, you understand, understanding and in that aspect of brotherhood, obey the Mosai, and to really understand what, you know, how Moses turned the heart of the Mosai. This is what he said. You understand? I'll read it verse 4. Verse 11 says, and Moses besought the Lord his God, and said, Lord, why doeth thy wrath wax hot against thy people? So he's begging, literally begging for the nation of Israel. So picture this. The father go and cut the child tail, and the mother say, oh God, don't kill him. You understand? Don't beat him. Don't beat him so much. Spare him. You understand? Moses was begging for the nation of Israel at that time. And it says, why doeth thy wrath wax hot against thy people, which thou hast brought forth out of the land of Egypt with great power and with a mighty hand? Wherefore should the Egyptians speak and say, for mischief did he bring them out, to slay them in the mountains and to consume them from the face of the earth. So Moses, you know, really, you know, looked at, you know, when he spoke to the Mosai, he let the Mosai know, look, your reputation, you understand, is at stake here. Because this is what the Egyptians go say, that they bring them out to destroy them. The same people that they say are the children of the Mosai bring them out to destroy them. So Moses, you know, praying to the Mosai, let him know, look, this is about your reputation at the end of the day. And the Mosai was able to appease, you understand, Moses was able to appease the wrath of the Mosai. And as we read lower down, we'll be able to see what took place. Let's continue the reading. In the book of Exodus chapter 32, verse 32 and select chapter 32 and verse 13. Zakar la Abariam Laya Zakakwa Walaya Sha'ala Ibadayaka Ashar La Shaba'aitha Laham Baka Watdaba Alaham Arabah Ata Zara'ikam Kakawa Kabaya Hashamayim Wakal Ha'arataza Haza'ata Ashar Amarataya Atan Lazara'ikam Monakalawa La'ilaham Salaka La'ilam. Verse 14. Wayanakam Yahweh Haraiha Ashar, the Ba, La Aishawa, La Aimawa is 15. Wayapan, Wayarad, Mashar, Man, Haha, Washanaya, La Kata, Aida, Banyawa, Lakatha, Kata Bayam, Mashanaya, Ibadara Yaham, Mazaha, Wamaza, Ham, Kata Bayam, the 16. Wahala Kata, Ma'aisha, Alahayam, Maham, Salakia Ham, Hamma, Wahamath, Wahamakatham, Salakia, Waha, Makabath, Makata, Alahayam, Hawa'a, Karawath, Ayat, Alakath, Ta. Verse 17. Wayashamai, Yai Shawa, Salakia, Yahawa Shai, Salakia, Wayashamai, Yahawa Shai, Ata, Kwawal, Ha'aima, Bara'ai, Wayama, Allah, Masha, Kwawal, Malaka, Ma, Bamakana. Verse 18. Wayama, Ayan, Kwawal, Ainawa, Gabawa, Wa'ayan, Kwawal, Ainawath, Kalawasha, Kwawal, Ainawath, Anakaya, Shammai. Verse 19. Wayaha, Wayahaya, Ka'arash, Hora, Allah, Hamakana, Wayara, Ata, Ai God, Wamaka Laka, Salako, Wama Kala, Wayakara, Apa, Masha, Wayashalak, Mayadawa, Ata, Alakata, Wayashaba, Atam, Takata, Aha.
Come. Exodus chapter 32 and verse 13. Remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, thy servants, to whom thou swert by thy own self, and said unto them, I will multiply your seed as the stars of the heaven, and all this land have I spoken of, will I give unto your seed, and they shall inherit it forever. Verse 14. And the Lord repent of the evil which he thought to do unto his people. Verse 15. And Moses turned and went down from the mount, and the 2 tables of the testimony were in his hand, and the tables were written of both their sides, on the side one side, and on the other were they written. Verse 16. And the tables were the works of the Most High, and written was the writing of the Most High, graven upon the tablets. Verse 17. And when Joshua heard the noise of the people as they shouted, he said unto Moses, there is a noise of war in the camp. Verse 18. And he said, it is not the voice of them that shout for mastery, neither it is the voice of them that cry for being overcome, but the noise of them that sing Do I hear? Verse 19. And it came to pass as soon as he came near unto the camp that he saw the calf and the dancing, and Moses' anger waxed hot. And he cast the tables out of his hand and raked them beneath the mount.
So you see once more, the Most High, show Moses what was really happening, right? And Moses, really beg, actually beseech the Most High to spare the nation of Israel and not destroy them totally, right? And when he went down, you understand, when he made preparations now to go down to Israel, right? A little way down, a little way down, Joshua was there with him. Understand? But let's start from verse 13. And him, this is here now beseeching still for the nation of Israel. Remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, thy servants, to whom thou swearest by thine own self, and saidest unto them, I will multiply your seed as the stars of heaven, and all your seed, and they shall inherit it forever. So he was reminding the Most High of the covenant that he made with, his forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All this is Moses again beseeching, that brotherhood. You understand, the nation of Israel was strong. You understand that he, really pleaded with the Most High to save the nation of Israel. You understand? And, and this verse 14 says, the Lord repented of the evil which he thought to do unto his people. So Moses changed the Most High's mind. So when we say the Most High is a living power, he really is a living power. This is how we can change our minds from doing the evil that we do. You understand? From the drugs and the homosexuality and the prostitution and the whoremongering. We can change from all those things. And if you have anything more to share.
Yeah, and as we say, just as Moses knowing the record as his people and knowing the inheritance, everything what been taught him, was able now to come back and use back that words and the Most High and say, hey, well, that's as the rightly say, you tell Abraham, Isaac, and Israel that, hey, this is we're going to do for them and things. So now, so because now we following the history, everything is just like today now. You see him records today, it could benefit we. I think, but we're not reading the records, and now the other nations and them reading the records and it benefiting them and things. So, again was because what went on with the forefathers, able to just say, well, hey, you do this something was right, no sin. I know that's something that's to show that Moses was really a man of the father now, because he following everything what the Most High was saying the forefathers and things. That's as we try and think not I will have a son, I know they, but as long as you keep on carrying on, you keep on living, you keep on your father line keep on living, because we your sons and keep on doing and things, right?
So we continue reading. Book of Exodus, chapter 32 and verse 20. Wayakoka ta Aiga Asha Aishawa Wayasura Ba'awash Ba'asha Wayatakan Aidar Asha Dakwa Wayazar Aila Panya Amayam Waya Shakwa Kata Banya Yasha'ala. Verse 21. Waya Amar Masha Allah Aharan Maha Aisha Laka Aishaham Azaha Kaya, Habatha, Salakia, Abath, Aliyawa, Kata'aha, Gadala, verse 22, Wayama, Aharan, Al, Yaka, Apa, Adonaiah, Ata, Yada'aita, Ata, Ha'aima, Kaya, Bara'ai, Hawa'a, verse 23, Ya'amarwa, Laya, Aisha, Lanawa, Alahayim, Ashar, Yalakawa, Lapanyawa, Kaya, Zaha, Asha, Ayawa, Salakia, Hayash, Ashar, Salakia. Good? Yeah. Okay.
So,
Continue verse 23. Ha'ayla yanau, ha'ay lanawa, ma'arataza, matazarayan, la'a, yada'ay nawa, maha, hayaha, lawa, verse 24. Wa'amar, laham, lamaya, zahal, hatta harakowa, wayata nawa, laya, wa'asha lakam, hawa, ba'asha, wayataza, ha'ay la salakia, ha'ay ga, hataza, salakia, hazaha, verse 25. Wayara, Masha, Mata, Ha'aima, Kaya, Para'ai, Hawa'a, Kaya, Para'aya, Aharan, Lashamataza, Bakwa, Mayaham, verse 26. Waya'aimad, Masha, Basha'aira, Hamakan, Waya'ama, Maya, La Yahawa, Alaya, Waya, Asapawa, Alayawa, Ha, Banya, La, Waya.
Exodus chapter 32 and verse 20. And he took the calf which they had made and burnt it in the fire and ground it to powder and strewed it upon the water and made the children of Israel drink of it. Verse 21. And Moses said unto Aaron, what did this people do thee, that thou had brought so great a sin upon them? Verse 22. And Aaron said, let not the anger of my Lord wax hot. Thou knowest the people that they are set on mischief. Verse 23. For they said unto me, make us gods which shall go before us. For this Moses, the man that brought us out of the land of Egypt, what is become of him? Verse 24. And I said unto them, whosoever had any gold, let them break it off. So they gave me. Then I cast it into the fire, and there came out this calf. Verse 25. And when Moses saw that the people were naked, for Aaron had made them naked unto them shame among them enemies. Verse 26. Then Moses stood in the gate of the camp and said, who is on the Lord's side? Let him come unto me. And all the sons of Levi gathered themselves together unto him.
So like you see once more where the children of Israel, they again put themselves in a position. Right? So when Moses come down, when Moses see the bacchanal going on down in his zone, I say big carnival set. Big carnival set. You understand? Marshall performing. You understand? But the children of Israel quickly went a whoring to other gods. When Moses really come down and see what's going on, see the golden calf that they built, you understand? Against the Most High. You understand? It was real disrespectful. Moses, as the scripture says, in verse 20, and he took the calf which they had made and burnt it in the fire and ground it to powder and strewed it upon the water and made the children of Israel drink it. So that is a gangster. I mean, if that is not bad, man, because the grind at the powder, right down, and mix it in the water that I had a drink, and tell you, let's drink that God. Or let's try to put up against the Most High, this idol. So this shows how vexed, you understand, Moses was for the disrespect that they did towards the Most High. After let's just come out of all this captivity, all these miracles, you understand, manna from heaven, quail, all these different things, that is there, all these miracles that the Most High did, and still, we're going to worship a golden calf from Egypt. You understand? And the calf was one of the main idols that the Egyptians worship. You understand? There was a calf with a kind of sun disc at the top of the head between the horns. You understand? I think I was representing Horus. You understand? But they again went back to the idolatry that they knew in Egypt. So I think what I think so.
Again, let's say again, again, Commander General again, because again, when you really read back through, the records and go over these texts and you realize the condition and the mindset that the children of Israel was in. It's nothing different than the scene today.
Right.
Nothing different than the scene today. As we're bringing out earlier on and we were about last week, concerning time when Moses was receiving all the instructions and now, as they say, to the part now where they grow weary. And you see how blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians could grow weary because of not having that discipline, of not, being fed with the righteous source of understanding the identity. And we see it today. So we just continue from where we start off. And we say that Aaron now was charged, and he now trying to give that charge over to the children now when Moses now left him. And he was supposed to, uphold that in integrity, because understanding, being that spokesman for Moses. He wasn't supposed to waver, and show you how at times even the man right to the side that you could waver and could grow weary. And then trying to make excuses now concerning, well, the people. But when you read higher up, it shows it was he. It shows he was the one who tell them, hey, all right. But now we're trying to wait on the people. Right? And then, as we see, Moses now had a plea. And this is what the I.S.U.P.K is doing on a daily basis. Plead for brothers, plead for sisters. They'll come back to this understanding and find get the true understanding about the identity. And this is what Moses was doing until the Mosai, and showing when the Mosai, show that leniency. Because again, because of that cry, you can remind them of, of our fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And that was a reminder. And on top of that, now we look for, as we say, we reach at verse 26.
You stop at 26, sir.
Stop at 26?
Yeah.
And even before that, the Mosai now to give Moses a message, and this is a reminder as well. It shows, in the early when you read concerning, when Jacob was sleeping and the angel descending and ascending. This is why Moses could have get that message stating that, the children born are already. Most likely could have gave that message direct. So he already know what he was going up against, and that's why he had also plea before. And it shows that again, everything that we're doing, it is being recorded. And look, we're reading it here. And this is why Commander General and I continue to bring this message on a continual basis and remind brothers and sisters, hey, come out of the Christian church, come out of these mosques and them. Come out of, you're being warned and show you, as they say, should, as they now make mention of with all Moses, put on that road, that youngster road, grind that to powder, and let them know, hey, don't drink that. Because to uphold that integrity, knowing that, hey, the Most High God will play.
Right.
And the children, verse 25, Moses saw that the people were naked, and it showed you clearly what that means. They was literally naked. Meaning to say, after all of these things, they turned away from the true and living power. So literally, there was naked in the sight of the Most High by doing what? I worship after this world and this Egyptian world. Will now come out. They see all that miracle, all that the Most High did before them. And show them that way. Right? And Moses stood. And when he said, then Moses stood in the gate of the camp and said, who is on the Lord's side? And this is something very important. And we must establish this. Because this is be done in the I.S.U.P.K on a daily basis. And it's towards, all our brothers and sisters, wherever they reside in these four corners of the earth, and the denomination and the congregation that they congregated in, this is a question that will always be asked to them. Whose side are you on? And this is what the I.S.U.P.K has been doing since 1969. Right. Asking blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, whose side are you on? Right? And as scripture read on, it says, let him come unto me, and all the sons of Levi gathered unto him. So it shows you what took place. And again, as we continue to read on, we will get more to speak in this.
We'll continue reading the book of Exodus chapter 52 and verse 27. Vayamar laham ka kaha Amma Yahweh Alaya Yasha'ala Shayamwa Ayash Sarabwa Al Yarakawa I Ibaro Washawa Washabayawa Washaira La Shaira Bamakano Wahara Goa Ayash Ata Akayawa wa Ayasha Sawa Ayash Ata Ra'aihawa wa Ayash Ata Warabawa verse 28 wa Ya Aishawa Banya Lawaya Kadaba Masha Wayapal Man Ta'aima Wayawam Hahawa Kashalash Kashalashata Alapaya Alapia Ayash Waya Amma Masha Malawa Yadakam Hayawam La Yahawa Piya Ayash Banya Talakya Babanawa Wabaka Yawa Walatata Ailayakam Amayawa Baraka Waya Haya Talakya Gustiri Waya Haya Mamakara Waya Ama Masha Allah Ha'aiman Atam Ata'a Gadala wa Aita Aila Al Yahweh Awa Leya Akapara Ba'aida Kata Ataham verse 1 Wayashab Masha La'a Yahweh Wayama Ana'a Kata'a Ha'aima Azaha Kata'a Gadala Waya Aisha Waya Aishawa Laham Ala Haya Zahab verse 32 wa Aisa Ma'ata Salakya Ma'a Sasha Kata'a Tam wa Aham Salakya wa Amma Ayan Makanaya Na'a Masapara Asher Kataba verse 33 Waya Amma Yahweh Allah Masha Maya Asher Kata Leya Amakanawa Masaparia verse 34 wa Aita Laka Ata Aima, La'a, Ashar, the Baratia, Kal, Ana, Malaakaya, Yalaka, Lapania Kaya, Lapanyaka, Wabaya Wam, Pakwadaya, Wapakwad Natia, Ailaham, Kata Atam. That's it.
Exodus chapter 32 and verse 27. And he said unto them, Thus saith the Lord power of Israel, put every man his sword by his side, and go in and out from the gate to gate throughout the camp, and slay every man his brother, and every man his companion, and every man his neighbor. Verse 28. And the children of the Levite did according to the word of Moses, and there fell of the people that day about 3,000 men. Verse 29. For Moses had said, consecrate yourselves today to the Most High, even every man upon his son and upon his brother, that he may bestow upon you a blessing this day. Verse 30. And it came to pass on the morrow that Moses said unto the people, You have sinned a great sin, and now I will go up unto the Most High, peradventure, and shall make an atonement for your sin. Verse 31. And Moses returned unto the Lord, and said, Oh, this people have sinned a great sin, and have made them gods of gold. Verse 32. Yet now, if thou wilt forgive their sins, and if not, blot me, I pray thee, out of thy book, which thou hast written. Verse 33. And the Lord said unto Moses, Whosoever had sinned against me, him will I blot out of my book. Verse 34. Therefore now go, lead the people unto the place of which I have spoken unto thee. Behold, my angel shall go before thee. Nevertheless, in the day when I will visit their sins upon them.
Yeah. The Most High Christ. So we see here once more where the Most High is, showing his power and his strength. So Moses said, here, all those who are with the Lord, come on this side. And remember, this is the nation of Israel. And he tell each man, take your sword and go in every brother tent. Understand? And destroy, kill, slay all those who are not with the Most High. And they say at that time, understand? And that verse 28 says, it's not verse 27. It's like it. And he said unto them, this is the Levites, Thus said the Lord God of Israel, put every man his sword by his side, and go in and out from gate to gate throughout the camp, and slay every man his brother, and every man his companion, and every man his neighbor. So the Most High wasn't playing. This was no fun and game. This is how serious it was. Where you lose your life to come up against the Most High, to dishonor the Most High. And the tribe of Levi stood up at that day. You understand? And that earned them that reputation. You understand? And these men went and slayed over 3,000 men. You understand? That day for the Most High. That is what I'm saying.
Again, at that time, they were to be ordained, the priesthood amongst the nation. And we know that in the time of our King YAHANNA, who the priesthood will be. Right? And again, just as made mention there, remember our King made mention, he said, bring them hither.
That's right.
He said, bring them hither before me. And this was this, and we see what will take place. And this, as we say, reading out our records. This was always, a warning, and as Moses, stand for to take that charge, the Most High reminded him and said in verse 33, and the Lord said unto Moses, whosoever hath sinned against me, him will I blot out of my book. So it's not like, he going to take the charge at anybody. That's why again, in the Apocrypha, we see that talking about the straight and narrow. Only one man could enter it in at a time. And I show you right here in our records. And again, as we read out of our records, the Black, the Spanish, and the Indian man, they are reminded. Right?
Okay. Continue reading in the book of Exodus, chapter 32. Chapter 32, verse 34. وأيتا لك أتا أيما Allah Ashar the Barathia Kal Na Malaakia Kiya Salakia Yala Lapanya Yaka Wabayawa Salakia Wabayawa Ba Salakia Wakwadaya Wapa Kwadasia Ilahum Ata Atam is 35. Wayagap Yahweh Ata Aima Ail Asha Aishawa Ata Aiga Asha Aishaha Haran. The book of Exodus, chapter 33 and verse 1. Yadaba, Yahweh, Allah, Masha, Kal, Ilaham, Ilaha, Mazaha, Atta, Wahaim, Asher, Ha'ai, Layaf, Ma'ata, Maharataza, Matazariah, Allah, Arataza, Asher, Nashabai Taya, La Abba Raham, Layataza Chakwa, Walaya I Kwab, Salakia, Wala Yaikwab, La Amma, Lazara Aika, Atan Na, verse 2, Washala Taya, Lapanyaka, Malaaka, Wagara Shataya, Ata, Hakana Ainaya, Ha Amaria, Wahaka Taya, Wahapa Razaya, Hakawaya, Wahaya Bawa Saya. Verse 3, Allah Arataza, Zabah, Kalaba, Wadabash, Piya, Lawa, Aila, Bakhya, Ima, Pasha, Iraq, Atar, Pan, Akalaka, Badarak, is 4. Wayashamai, Ka'ima, Atar, Adabar, Harai, Azaha, Wayata'a, Balawa, Wala'a, Shatawa, Ayash, Daya, Idayawa, Ilayawa, is 5. Wayama, Yahawa, Allah, Masha, Amma, La'a, Panya, Yasha'ala, Atam, Ima, Pasha, Iraq, Ragai, Akal, Ailaha, Bakwara Bak, Walayata Yaka, Wa'aita, Harada, Aidayaka, Ma'aila Yaka, Wa'ada Aiha, Maha, Aishaya, Kal. That's it.
Exodus chapter 32 and verse 35.
34.
30,
Yeah.
34. Verse 34. Therefore, now go, lead the people unto the place of which I have spoken against thee. Behold, my angel shall go before thee. Nevertheless, in the day when I will visit their sins upon them. Verse 35. And the Lord plagued the people because they made the calf which Aaron made. Exodus chapter 3 and verse 1. And the Lord said unto Moses, Depart and go up hence, thou and the people which thou hast brought up out of the land of Egypt unto the land which I have swear unto Abraham, to Isaac, and unto Jacob, saying, Unto thy seed will I give it. Verse 2. And I will send an angel before thee, and I will drive out the Canaanites, the Amorites, and the Hittites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites. Verse 3. Unto a land flowing with milk and honey, for I will not go up in the midst of thee, for thou art a stiff-necked people, lest I consume thee in the way. Verse 4. And when the people heard these evil tidings, they mourned, and no man did put on him his ornaments. Verse 5. For the Lord had said unto Moses, unto the children of Israel, You are a stiff-necked people. I will come up into the midst of thee in a moment and consume thee. Therefore now put off thy ornaments from thee, that I may know what to do unto thee.
It's like yesterday, right? We've seen once more the wrath of the Most High, or the Most High, dealing with the children of Israel. And still, he had a lot of mercy. A lot of mercy upon the children of Israel. Still on top of that, he gave them, that grace, aside from them being totally destroyed. And verse 34 said, And therefore now lead the people into the place of which I have spoken unto thee. Behold, my angel shall go before thee. Nevertheless, the day when I visit, I will visit their sins upon them. So you see, when the Most High did forget, you understand? The sin that he did against the Most High. And that judgment was still to come. You understand? And the reason that was to come was because why? They have to stay in our wilderness and die in our wilderness. Because of all that witchcraft that they put against the Most High. But if you're not so.
This was again the cleansing process. don't give him all.
Okay. So you continue the book of Exodus, chapter 33, and verse 6. ويطعن نتزالق بنيا يشعال حتى أيديام مها خوارب وسن ومشى يقوكا حتى هاهاو ونتا لوا مكا وتزا لمكانا هرا خوا man hamakana wa kora lawa ahau mawa aida wa hayaha ka mabakwash yahawa yataza ala aha mawa aida ashar makawa makawataza Lamakan, verse 8. Wahayaha, Katiza Ata, Yasha, Al, Ha'ahal, Yakowa Mawa, Kal, Ha'ai Ma, Wanatazabawa, Ayash, Pataka, Aharwa, Wahaba Ya Tawa, Akaria, Nasha, Aida, Ba'awa, Halaha, verse 9. Wahaya, Kaba, Nasha, Allah, Yarad, Aimawad, Ha'ainana, Wa'aiman, Hataka, Ha'ahal, Wadaba, Aiman, Masha, verse 10. Wara'a, Kal, Ha'aiman, Hata, Aimawad, Ha'aina, Aiman, Hataka, Ha'ahal, Wakwam, Kal, Aiman, Wahasha, Takawa, Ayash, Ataka, Ahalwa, Muslim, Wadaba, Yahawa, Allah, Masha, Panyam, Allah, Panyam, Panayam, Kasha, Yadaba, Ayash, La'a, La'ayuha, Washad, Allah, Hamakan, Wamasha Rathwa, Yahawashai, Banya, Nawan, Naira, La'a, Yamyam, Salake, Yamsha, Yamyash, Watawaka, Ahal, verse 12. Waya'ama, Masha, La'a, Yahawa, Azra, Ata, Amma, Alaya, Ha'ayla, Ata, Ha'ayma, Hazaha, Ata, La'a, Awada, Aita, Neya, Ata, Asha, Tashalak, Aymaya, Wa'ata, Amatha, Amara, Yada'ai Tayaka, Basham, Wagam, Mataza'ata, Khan, Ba'ai Nayan, Ba'ai Yanaya, that's
Exodus chapter 33 and verse 6. And the children of Israel stripped themselves of their ornaments by the Mount Horeb. Verse 7. And Moses took the tabernacles and pitched it without the camp, afar off from the camp, and called it the tabernacle of the congregation. And it came to pass that every one which sought the Lord went out into the tabernacles of the congregation, which was without the camp. Verse 8. And it came to pass when Moses went out into the tabernacles that all the people rose up and stood every man at his tent door and looked after Moses until he was gone into the tabernacles. Verse 9. And it came to pass as Moses entered into the tabernacle, the cloudy pillar descended and stood at the door of the tabernacle, and the Lord talked with Moses. Verse 10. And all the people saw the cloudy pillar stand at the tabernacle door, and all the people rose up and worshipped every man in his tent door. Verse 11. And the Lord spake unto Moses face to face, as a man speaketh unto his friend. And he turned again into the camp, but his servants Joshua, the son of Nun, a young man, departed not out of the tabernacle. Verse 12. And Moses said unto the Lord, See, thou said unto me, Bring up this people, and thou hast not let me know whom thou wilt send with me. Yet thou hast said, I know thee by name, and thou hast also found grace in my sight.
Right.
Yes, again, you know, you're seeing the exact same thing that took place, you know, through our records, you know, in men standing and saying that all in words, they're standing for the Most High, and they want to be leaders, and they want to lead the people. And this is a perfect example, again, through our records, where it says, you know, in verse 7, and Moses took the tabernacle and pitched it out. So he built a tent outside at the camp. You know, and he make mention, you know, all those who say this one, right? And it came to pass that everyone which sought the Most High went out unto the tabernacle of the congregation without the camp. So now this is now it's showing now that all saying that, you know, they want to serve the Most High and be leaders within the nation, or they come outside here, right? And it came to pass when Moses went unto the tabernacle that all the people rose up and stood every man at his tent door and looked after Moses until he was gone into the tabernacle, right? Verse 11, right? And the Most High spake unto Moses face to face, as a man speaketh with his friend. And he turned again into the camp. But his servant Joshua, the son of Nun, a young man, departed not out of the tabernacle. So as Moses, you know, again receiving that instructions, you know, and the camp, looking to the camp outside of the camp, and the scene all of this taking place, and all the ones that went to that camp outside saying that they seeking the Lord, when he turned around, there was none other than Joshua alone left. Everybody else bust out, as we just say. And it shows you again, and as you read in the Hebrew now, Joshua's name is mentioned as Yahweh. As you read through the Hebrew, make mention. So it shows you the demonstration of again what is taking place. And again, if we go to look at the example, you know, today, and again you can go to the I.S.U.P.K pages and you can look and you can see commandment generally and I'm breaking down the same thing concerning, you know, the prophecy when they make concerning it coming at 2000. And everybody else was but only commanding General Yahanna alone remained and stood strong and uphold the integrity of the Most High.
Right.
And know this is we're reading out of our record and we see it, a pattern of the same thing taking place. Then saying that I want to stand for the Lord, and as you say, as the presence of the Lord makes it interaction amongst the people. It shows you women fall weak and as I say, drop the sword. And again, this is a reminder for us as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, take it pattern and as we read through our records with the examples of our fathers, what they went through, and as you say, we are the whole book now. And we can look out through the examples and we can see all these examples that that will correct us along the way. And how we get in that correction? By righteous men who stand for the Lord and make that mention and bring reminders to brothers and sisters. Right? So I know we want to jump in.
Alright. So after with that brings us to the end of the service. You see, I imagine.
Shout out to Israel.
So imagine. We have put down, instead of his east. So you must pray in Hebrew. Now, Shemaiah, Dash, I.S.U.P.K, Yahweh, Balakaka, Zaka, I.S.U.P.K,
Amen. The English, our Father, that's never, be thy name, Yahweh, kingdom come, be done, earth, as it is in heaven. Because this day, daily bread, forgive us our debts, forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it.
We say, you have come before Yahweh, I.S.U.P.K, is the right,
English, Yahweh, name of Yahweh, please give us the power, to heal, all manner of sickness, all manner of disease, for to cleanse the leper, for to raise the dead, for get some peace, to cast them out, in the name of Yahweh. Thank you, so be it.
We say, bless Israel, Yahweh, I.S.U.P.K, Abiyah, Safari, Barak,
The English. Yahweh,
Yahweh,
name of Yahushua,
name of Yahushua,
bless us,
bless us,
and Israel,
and Israel,
and the school,
and the school,
bless,
bless,
heal,
heal,
shield,
shield,
protect our loved ones,
protect our loved ones,
name of Yahushua,
name of Yahushua.
thank you,
Thank you.
so be it.
Okay. Psalm 121 in Hebrew. Asha'a, Ayanya, Ahariyan, Ayan, Ba'a, Isaiah, Mayam, Yahweh, Isha'a, Mayam, Ma'aradisa, Ayatan, Amawat, Gaka, Ayanawan, Marka,
Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up my eyes
unto
the hills.
hills.
Whence cometh my help? My help cometh from the Most High. Between heaven and earth. You will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. The Most High is thy keeper. The Most High is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Most High shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. He shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in. From this time forth, even forevermore.
It says something in Hebrew. Alahayim, Adamayalaka, Ayatakarat, Altashakwa, Al-Yohanna, Wayabaka, Hamayawan, Ash, Iram, Yawah, Sawada, Wayata, Aitazawan, Maro, Magawia, Zakah, Yeshua, Aitazawa, Karo, Aliyaka, Bariyat, Yakarafwa, Alahaya, Adawam, Wayashama Alayam, Abba, Harem, Ba, Aimawan, Malak, Ishabi, Dam Ashawa, Aima, Ayawa, Salah, Aishaha, Alaham, Maria, Yasara, Yabya, Manakar, Yashwan, Nashamalo, Yanda Ra, Ayawa, Man, Adama, Shayatama, Dan, Yamawa, Iraq, Kazaba, Wakal Kazabana, Kal Nasayakam, Ashab, Maro, Yarasha, Yamawa, Mata, Awa, Alahaya, Yatama, Galgala, Kwash, Panya, Wakal, Ash, Ira, Wakalava, Alaha, Ariyam, Kan, Parapalma, Paradapama, Masaraika, Wasa, Patka, Tabahala, Manyahan, Palawan, Yabakwasha, Sunka, Awa, Baswa, Uya, Mahal, Aya, Uya Kaparo, Uya Abaro, Uya Dayo, Uya Ata, Sunka, Hawa, Bata, Ayawan, Alkaha, Ratiza.
Psalm 83 in the English. Keep not no silence. Most High, and hold on thy peace, and be not still, O Most High, for lo, thine enemies, make it to march, and they that hate thee, have lifted up the head, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off, be the nation, the name of Israel, no more in remembrance. They have consulted together, one consent. They are confederate against you, the Tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites, Moab, and the Hagarene, Baal, Ammon, Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre, Isupk, also is joined with them. They are welcome, the children of Lot, Salah, do unto them, as unto the Midianites, as to Syria, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor, it became as dawn for you. Make them nobles, like Oreb, like Zebed, yea, all the princes, Azaluna, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of the Most High possession. O my power, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burning to wood, as the flame set to the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy temptress, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Most High, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High over all names.
Sir? Israel is giving a salute. I'm going to Chubak, Machum, Barak, Yahweh Hashem, Yahshua, Rakar, the Military, class dismissed.